Hello, hello, here we go, it's the Kopite podcast.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Kopite podcast. I'm Mick and I think is Jay, are you alright there lad? Jay? Hello?
Sorry mate, sorry, I can't stop staring at it.
I'd do the exact same.
Still can't.
This is Jay Pearson. He's in love with the Premier League trophy. I wish I fucking had one.
Well,
I haven't seen it.
Once lockdown's over, mate, you can cuddle it as much as you want.
I fucking wait.
Oh, yeah. I still can't fucking believe it, son. I really can't.
I know. Still doesn't feel real, does it? Still doesn't feel real.
Not seen you. We've not done this for a couple of days, have we? We've been joyous. We've been enjoying it, and you've obviously gone back to work and stuff like that. So, but it's nice. We've got something to talk about, though, haven't we?
I know it's weird because we've got 3 games, but we'll talk about 2 of them. We'll miss off the other one. So we'll crack on with the one that happened last night. Obviously 3-1 win over Brighton. What did you make of the result and performance?
Well, on the first 8 minutes, I was like, fucking nice one. Crack open another beer. Crack on. We're 2-0 up. Fucking great stuff. And then it sort of just went a little bit downhill a little bit. I thought it was a great performance all around by the boys. But I still think there was a little bit of hangover from the City game. Obviously, we're not really going to talk about the City game because it was shit. Doesn't really matter. We're all on the piss. Doesn't really matter. Not ass. 1-5-0. Give a fuck. Whatever. Oh, yeah. Sorry, it was 4-0, wasn't it? Because it was disallowed. Fuck off. But yeah, mate, no, it was good. I've made up for Naby Keita. I thought he had a fucking cracking game, and I was disappointed he got pulled off after 60. Understand why? I agree with it, but it was just nice to see him play his game, wasn't it?
He was absolutely. I don't know. He covered every blade of grass, didn't he? He was absolutely tremendous, and I think there's been times in the past where he's got himself to a good level of fitness and then he gets injured again. But I think this time, I'm hoping it'll work for him. There's times where in that game where he was just closing down everything and actually sprinting back. The amount of times when they were on the counter, he'd be sprinting back and he more often than not get a foot in and wins the ball back, and that paid dividends. Obviously, it was the first 6 minutes when they're obviously trying to play from the back, and Brighton did really well, I thought, in terms of that, doing them little triangles and bypassing the press. They've done it quite often, but obviously when you're new to doing that type of thing, and it does take a lot of getting the players used to it. Obviously, Liverpool had that bedridden period as well when we started playing like that, and obviously the problems and the teething problems that come with that. But yeah, we benefited, put my teeth back in, from that, obviously, in that first 6 minutes, and Naby Keita closes down one of their defenders and then squares it for Firmino. Could have probably shot, but he left it for Salah. But yeah, it was a great start, wasn't it?
It was, mate, and it was really good to see Keita doing the things that we all know he can do. And again, he was involved for winning the ball back for Hendo to score his goal. And again, what a finish from Hendo. I thought it was very Gerrard-esque against Luton in 2005 and Marseille in 2007-8, I think it was. But yeah, again, just a great little finish. And when we looked at the team lineup before, and the likes of Keita playing, the Ox playing in the front three, which I don't agree with, and I always think he's better playing centrally. But it was nice to see a bit of difference and stuff. And pleased to see Nico Williams get his first Premier League start, which is good. I don't think it works on that left hand side because he kept cutting back onto his right. So we do lose quite a bit when Robbo isn't playing on that left hand side, and it just shows that we do need a natural left footed player to cover for Robbo. But again, Nico Williams was great. It was good to see him in play. I thought we were a little bit lackadaisy at the back at times. Like you just said, Brighton did get their chances, and like I said, Brighton were absolutely fantastic. And there was a bit of a worry, wasn't there, going into half time when they'd scored just before the break. It was a little bit of a worry, thinking, shit, they've got the goal at the perfect time now. Yeah,
and I think, to be honest, when it went in, I thought it's a good goal, and they probably deserve it because the way they played. I was thinking when we were 2-0 up, and they started getting the foot on the ball and knocking it around really, really nicely, surprisingly well. Like I think one of the commentators, I think it might have been Carrie actually, who said, do you think that it's easier for them, obviously because there's no crowds? If their crowd was in there, they might have been a bit more nervous to play like that. But to be honest, they did really well, apart from obviously a couple of times where they got caught out, and we rightly punished them, thankfully punished them. They did really well, and to go in 2-1 down, I think was probably the correct result for that half. Obviously, like you just touched on there, Neco Williams, 19 years old, his first Premier League start. I thought he did really well. Obviously, he got pulled off for half time for Robertson. Obviously, I think he, like you said, he kept cutting back in on his right, which a couple of times he sprayed one back over to Trent, or he played it inside a nice little ball and Van Dijk.
Yeah,
and that works. But obviously, like you said, cutting back and their fullbacks and wingers were obviously trying to stop us going forward as much as they could. So they were, and I think Lamptey did really well for them on that side. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Chelsea didn't he? Looks like a really good prospect, another 19-year-old. But then we go into the second half, and I think we did play really well in the second half again, didn't we? Obviously, we finally got that second goal with Salah towards the end, and we could have a couple more, couldn't we?
Yeah, we had plenty of chances to rack up that goal tally, and you think Salah's going for the Golden Boot, isn't he, 3 years in a row? So I think we all want him to get that, and I know there were certain passes and certain chances that were set up deliberately for Salah when other players could have took it on, or there was a different option rather than pick Salah. And I love that about the team. I do love the fact that we have that mentality of trying to help. I mean, I said it to Vinny last night. I said it reminded me of when 08-09 when we were away at West Brom and Pepe Reina needed one more clean sheet, and Carragher and Arbeloa started arguing with each other because they nearly fucked up the clean sheet. And I just love that about these Liverpool sides, that we want to help the team get to greater heights and individual, because all right, we've got number 19 now and the title's in the bag and we've nothing left to play for technically, but we've got a points total to get, a record to get, and then you've got players like Mo Salah who wants a golden boot. So mate, those chances that we're getting, I'm glad we're creating more, because we looked a bit lackadaisy against Villa, we looked very lackadaisy against Man City, we were a little bit lax against Everton. So I don't know if it's a coincidence because we're away from home, don't know, might be, not too sure, but Villa was a bit of an anomaly, which we'll talk about in a minute anyway. But yeah, it's nice that we're starting to create a few more chances now after the restart.
Yeah, and I think obviously that is just on their Villa, which we'll come to in a minute. I think this game was like chalk and cheese energy-wise. I think that Villa game, obviously, I think some of the players talked about like a dry pitch after the game in the first half anyway, and they were struggling to get the ball along the grass basically, and the wind was playing a factor and whatever, stuff like that. But in terms of energy, I thought we were absolutely tremendous in this game. And obviously, you touched on Mo Salah there. There was a few times where I thought, I think Fabinho played them through, and if he would have just took one touch, he could have played Mane in, and Mane could have got a goal as well. But obviously, he's going for that golden boot. I think he's on 19 now, isn't he? And Vardy's on 22. So 4 games left. He's only got 3 to make up. He wants it. I think all of the team want him to get it. And when you look at the stats after the game, that's his 100th goal involvement for Liverpool in 104 appearances, which is, it's like Ronaldo Messi level. That is literally like absolutely world class. 73 goals and 27 assists in 104 Liverpool games. That is just, if that doesn't show how important he is for us, I don't know what does.
Absolutely, mate. People go on about him being a 1-season wonder. Well, I'm sorry, he's a fucking 3-season wonder. He's been absolutely phenomenal, like you've just said. He's 73 goals, 73 Premier League goals, I think. Is it 73 Premier League goals?
Yeah.
The man is incredible, and there's such a worry about Salah leaving. And I think everyone's got it in their heads that if we were going to bring in another massive name for pre-COVID, that Salah would be the one to go, and people are accepting that, and people are okay with that. I'm fucking not. Why would I want to get rid of someone who has had 100 goal involvements in the Premier League and 104 appearances for someone who isn't tried and tested in the Premier League? Why would I want to give that up? I can't believe people are just so fucking adamant about getting an Mbappe or a Sancho instead of Mo Salah. No, thank you. I'll stick with Mo Salah, thank you very much, because he's fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, I think it's... Well, it's the age of Twitter and stuff like that, but I think it's because he is a bit more of a ball greed, because he wants to score goals. But all goal scorers are. If you look at Cristiano Ronaldo, the sheer amount of goals he scored in his career, it's because he wants to score and he wants to break records, and he wants to break records and then win stuff to make his team win stuff and win Premier Leagues. And without Mo Salah in this team, we wouldn't have won. I don't think we would have won any of them trophies. the lad's an absolute genius. Like, it is mad. Like, people are like, oh yeah, if we get Sancho in, well, Salah or Mane leave, and everyone says Salah, which I get because Mane is absolutely amazing, but people want fresh transfers every year, and sometimes with the players we've got now, it's just not feasible. It's not needed. We do need someone as a backup, maybe like a Bruce that can come in, and obviously he's doing really well in the Championship at the minute. He can come in and maybe forge his way in now and again alongside Origi if Origi stays. But that front three, you don't get any better than world football. And I think we just need to go, right, we're happy with these for the next couple of years, and then we can start bringing in a couple of players in the next couple of years when they're on the other side of 30, which they aren't at the minute. So Exactly. People need to just calm the fuck down at the minute. And yeah, like moving back to Mo Salah and how much of a phenomenon he's been for us, I think it's a credit to him and a credit to the man who decided, I want to come back to the Premier League and I want to prove to people I am not, the shit Chelsea player. He's come back and he's proved exactly why he's one of the best in the world. And yeah, you mentioned that stat earlier to me about the 100 goal involvement, 104. Has anybody else got anything like that? It's just unbelievable. It's mad. I think there's Squawker put up a stat on Twitter, and it was since Mo Salah's debut, Mo Salah's on 100 goal involvements. The person in second is Aguero with 75. I mean, he's 25 goal involvements ahead since his debut. 25, like that. It's like you'd think it'd be 4 or 5, wouldn't you? Not 25. It's absolutely ridiculous. And Aguero's done nearly a decade in the Premier League. That is fucking phenomenal. I keep looking there. I'm looking at his shirt and it's signed, and they've got the fucking photographs, and I'm just looking. I'm going, please don't fucking leave. Don't. You know what I mean? I mean, there's a great little video that Sky Sports did last August, and it was called The Big Debate, and they got all the fan channel guys down. So they had like Redmen there as well. So they had Ross and Chris, and it was Jamie Carragher and Gary Neville speaking at a panel about every single club with the fan channels. And then one of the questions was with the United guy, and he said to Gary Neville, blah, 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 about United being shit and da-da-da-da. And Gary Neville said, oh yeah, we'll win the Premier League before Liverpool. And obviously this is last August, so obviously it's funny to look back at it now, given what happened. But he said Mo Salah is itching to leave Liverpool, and Mo Salah will be gone in 12 months. Now, COVID-19 has happened. It's now very unlikely that the transfer market is going to be the way it was last season. It probably won't be the way it is. But there's nothing in the papers, there's nothing in the gossip columns to say that Mo Salah is looking to leave Liverpool. I think now that we've just managed to win the Champions League, the World Club Cup, the Super Cup, and now the Premier League, I think he wants to stay part of this team of, I'm going to defend this title, I'm going to attack this title, I want to pick up another one, I want to pick up another Champions League. Because at the minute, where else is he going to go in world football to pick up them trophies? The answer is nowhere, and that's great for us because, like we've touched on before, in the past, obviously when we've had a good team and good players, they've always been nabbed off us. We've touched on it before, obviously Torres and Suarez, or the rest of them. There's nowhere for them to go. Like obviously, we touched on the last one with Sam about Sané going to Bayern. They're going to be a force. They don't need a Mo Salah. Real Madrid and Barcelona. Why would he go? Unless he harbours hopes of winning the La Liga. He's already won the Champions League with us. Why would you move from? Well, my obviously selfish point of view, Liverpool the best team in the world. I think. Why would you move? For me, it's a no-brainer that he stays. Obviously, he's coming into the he's in his prime of his career now, and if he leaves in 2 or 3 years, he goes with our blessing, and he goes on. He'll go on and do great things in hopefully another country. Yeah, he's an absolute magician, and sadly, I did write a piece about this a couple of weeks ago for the website saying I don't think he'll be appreciated till he leaves, and I don't think he will, which is sad, really, isn't it? Yeah, no, mate. I read that piece and it was really good, and that was the line that I think hit home for me. And it should hit home for a lot of people that he'll be missed more, obviously, once he's gone. And I think we were the same with Suarez when he left in 2014. That season was such a fucking ball ache every week to watch the football because we didn't have Luis Suarez. But again, we're not just relying on one player now, and there's 11 players there,
or a squad of 15, however way you want to put 11 guys that go out on that pitch every single week that are phenomenal, and we miss every fucking one of them. And yeah, you are right. It's, touch wood, heaven forbid, I don't want this to happen. But imagine if we go into a slump now in 5 or 6 years' time. Don't think we will, but it comes in circles. It might happen. You've got to be realistic at the end of the day, and that's why people have to appreciate the now. People need to appreciate what we've just achieved. You've seen me very active recently, where people are pissing me off, where they're on about, I want Thiago, I want this player, I want that player. Well, fucking enjoy that, will you? Fucking enjoy that, because that just proves to me that you haven't been supporting us for the last 30 years. You've only been supporting us since 2017. That proves to me that. So just fuck off. And like saying, Mo Salah needs to be in everybody's Premier League 11 coming soon. And he's a fucking phenomenal player, mate. And you are absolutely spot on. You've hit the nail on the head. People will miss him when he's gone more. And you always miss what you don't have, don't you?
Exactly.
I still, yeah.
I'll miss a man soon, too, lad, don't worry. But anyway, he bagged 2 last night, got himself to 19 goals. But obviously, we touched on before, another great finish was Jordan Henderson. And another player who was terrific last night. And I like the fact that we can watch the games with no crowd noise, because you can hear him absolutely. Yeah. The influence he has is ridiculous. I think there was a moment when Robbo had just come on, and Robbo didn't close someone down fast enough, and he was like literally screaming at him, close him down, and then like urging him forward. And obviously he came off, I think it was 80 minutes with an injury, and then I think Klopp said after, it looks like a serious one. Obviously, when we're going to be lifting the Premier League trophy in 13 days at Anfield against Chelsea, we just got to hope he's back in time, because obviously if he's injured his leg, he's not going to be able to do the shuffle, which is what we all want. I know. I didn't think it was as serious as what everyone was going on about after the game. I just thought he just had a knock on it, but then just the thoughts of it that he's going to have a scan, and they're talking about the Chelsea game, and we've got another game to come. So you just think, right, well, surely you should be talking whether he'd be fit for Burnley, but obviously that's just not going to happen now, and we're worried about the Chelsea. So, like you said, it is more serious. But for me, if you can just muster to come on the pitch for the last 3 minutes of injury time, that's absolutely fine, because I don't want him to do a John Terry, miss the game, and have to put his full kit on to come and lift the truck, because that I just can't be asked with all that fucking jibing off everybody else. If he's got a bad knee, fine, bring him on for like the last 30 seconds, just shout to the ref, you got 30 seconds? Yeah. Go on, get on. And then he goes on for 30 seconds and it's done. It will be an absolute shame. But I do think Jordan, being the person that he is, of like, I don't care how fucking hard my knee's hurting, I'm going to do that fucking shuffle. Yeah, if he doesn't come on, I'd rather him just do a fucking the way Jamie Redknapp used to do it, because he was injured all the time and just wear a suit. I don't care. We just want to see Jordan Henderson with that trophy in his arms. Obviously, before we'd start winning all these trophies, the thought of Henderson getting his hands on all these type of trophies was like a dream for us all. We all wanted to see that passion that we saw on the pitch encapsulated in a moment with a trophy, and we've seen it now. Obviously, the Hendo shuffle's been started, and we want to see that with the Premier League trophy. But it's going to be a special moment when that actually happens, isn't it? In 13 days' time against Chelsea.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be quite weird how they're going to do it, because by the time he'll do it, it'll be dark. It'll be getting dark, so it'll be under the lights, and it'll be the first Premier League title lifted under the lights. It'll be very strange atmosphere. I hope George has got what's the Show Me Love. I hope he's got that on ready to press play the minute we fucking lift that bastard trophy. So yeah, it's going to be interesting, mate. But again, we just can't fucking wait. Gutted it's not on a Sunday where we can, have an all-day barbecue and fucking watch it, social distancing in a back garden somewhere together and stuff like that. But yeah, it's going to happen, mate. We're going to see it, and yeah, hopefully he'll be fit enough to play that game, even if it's just for 5 minutes. Just get on the pitch, Hendo. But either way, mate, it'll happen.
Yeah, so I think he'll have a scan today only, so obviously we might find out a bit more maybe later today or tomorrow about that. Hopefully it's good news. But anyway, we touched on previous game Villa just before. Obviously, we went on to win 2-0. Didn't open the score until 71 minutes when Mane bagged, and then obviously Curtis Jones topped the performance off with a nice little celebration of his new contract. That was it. We touched on how lacklustre it was, and it wasn't until Klopp brought the cavalry on 60 minutes with Henderson and the like, that we actually started to pass the ball around and get a bit of fluidity in the performance. What did you make of it?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't want to talk too much about the Villa game, mate, because obviously it's been and gone now. But what you've just said there brings up an amazing point. Is when he brought the cavalry on, that's when we started playing. And again, people underestimate Bobby Firmino, and we could do an entire podcast on the influence of Bobby Firmino. Again, the outside world, outside the Liverpool fan base, don't appreciate Bobby Firmino the way we appreciate him. And people are going to throw up some stats and say, "Oh, he hasn't scored at Anfield this season." No, but every game he's played and we fucking won at Anfield. You know, he's so important to us. And the main thing I want to plug out of that Villa game was Curtis Jones, because again, him getting chances like that is fantastic for him. He's just signed his new contract, comes on in the game, and then he bags himself a goal, and that's just signed off a fantastic week for him. So, at the end of the day, mate, it was a case of just getting the job done, and we did get the job done in the end, and we got the 3 points. No one will fucking remember that performance. We got 2-0, and we're well on our way to getting that century.
Yeah, I think the first half, I was just kind of like, for the first time ever, I can't wait for this game to be over. It was just one of them. I don't even care if it's 0-0. Just put me out in misery. But yeah, obviously, it's like you said, the cherry on the top of finally getting the win was Curtis Jones celebrating his contract.
Yeah.
And then before that, we won't talk about the City game. Obviously, we talked about it with Sam, and we were all going, "Oh, it's going to be a score draw." Just didn't happen. We had the chances. Mo Salah hit the post. Mane couldn't sort his feet out. Had his 2 left feet on. Then he had another chance. Should have bagged. Didn't. It was one of them games. Didn't go for us. They were absolutely clinical, and we, after the first 30 minutes, just couldn't pass the ball 5 yards. And if I said to my brother I was watching it with, we could play for 180 minutes here and we wouldn't score. It's just one of them games we would have never scored.
No, exactly. You telling me them boys weren't drinking for a good six or 7 days? Bollocks! Of course they were. Of course you've just become the most iconic football team in a generation. For a Liverpool Football Club, of course you're going to be on the piss every single week, and we didn't give a shit. And yeah, all right, yeah, 4-0. It was a piss poor game or whatever, but it's all a football. It really doesn't. It didn't matter in the grand scheme of things. And you saw people losing their heads again, and you just think, oh, for God's sake, just enjoy it. Just enjoy it, for God's sake, man. But yeah, listen, mate, the amount of people that have moaned about our performances since the restart, these boys have been fucking brilliant for 3 years now. Give them a fucking break.
It's bad, isn't it, when you've won the league, it's sewn up. You go to Man City, you get humbled a little bit by them being really good and us being a bit shit. You go on Twitter and you say, oh, we need this player, we need to sign this player, we need to sign this player. And then Man City go and get beat by Southampton. It's like,
I want to do that. I feel like going, fuck off.
Yeah, it's a rule of thumb for me. Even if some people, I don't even know if they'd ever be right. I'm happy with this Liverpool team, because if you're not happy with this Liverpool team, I'm sorry, but football not for you. Because fuck me, what the fuck are we meant to do to please you? I don't know. Go and fucking take up baseball or something. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, we'll move on to obviously Saturday. At home, Burnley, 3 o'clock at BT Sport.
Nice.
Obviously, it might look like Hendo might be out, but I imagine lineup-wise, Fabinho, obviously he came on last night. I imagine he'll probably just like-for-like change for Hendo in that 6 role. I imagine Robbo will probably come back in only for Neco. And then I've wrote here maybe Milner come in for Genie, because I think Genie's had a few bits of criticism on Twitter as well. I understand like he's not this flash player, but he's not meant to be in this team. He's a functional player, and I think it was Martin Tyler, the typical, saying last night, "Oh, this Wijnaldum for Liverpool isn't the same as Holland. He doesn't get as many goals." That's because for Holland he plays as a more advanced midfielder. In this team, he's basically holding the fort while fucking Andy Robertson flies forward. He's a functional player. It's like Bobby Firmino. It's the functionality that enables this team to work. It's not the numbers and the fucking stats they pull in. It's the functionality. So I'd like maybe to see give him Genie a rest and bring Milner in. Obviously Milner came on last night as well, so he's fit. And then just go Salah, Firmino, Mane up front again, and try and get them back. Well, try and get Mane and Salah probably further up the goal charts.
Yeah, I think that's that. I'd do that as well, mate. Definitely. I think Kate as in to start again. I think we all enjoyed that. I think against Burnley at home, that could be a really good one. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I think maybe if I was going to give anybody a rest as well, I'd probably give Trent a rest. I think he's probably looking a little bit tired and stuff and going through. I mean, yeah, okay, yeah, we've had a break and all that sort of stuff, but I think the way he's been playing recently, he could probably do with a bit of a break. So, maybe bring in a Larucci or, maybe put Gomez at full back and bring in a different centre half or something. I don't know. I'm not the manager, fucking hell, but I think maybe Trent needs a bit of rest. But I'd like to see Milner start, definitely. I think that will happen with Hendo not playing. And yeah, like you said, the front three just cracks on and scores goals. And let's try and get Bobby at least one goal at Anfield this season.
Yeah. I think even he might even put Neho Williams at right back, because obviously, like you said, he did look a bit awkward at left back, like is normal. He's a 19-year-old kid. He's willing to go left back, which says a lot in itself. Really, he's willing to play anywhere. But we've got the option of maybe Keanu Hoover. He could play right back. We've got a lot of options, haven't we, that we can throw in there. So
I'd like to see Harvey Elliott some minutes as well. If say we're a good few goals up towards the hour mark or 70, then bring him on at 70. And I'd like to see him again. He's signed his first professional contract, so big congrats to that lad. And he's a special talent, and it'd be good to see him get some minutes under his belt and get another appearance to top up for his medal. That'd be good.
So we'll end on score predictions.
I'm feeling a bit confident this time, mate. I'm going to go 3-0.
Same. That's what I had in my head, 3-0. Hopefully get Mo to another 2 and get Mane one, get Mo on to 21 goals. I think Mane's on 15 or 16. So even if you get to a bit more, if they can both hit 20 Premier League goals this season, that would be absolutely tremendous. I think they both deserve it. But obviously that put the cherry on the cake for what is a absolutely amazing season, amazing the work that the team have done this year. Obviously, we only need 9 more points now after the remaining 4 games to beat Man City's record. So yeah, we just need to crack on and try and break as many records as we can, don't we?
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Well, you have a nice day, Mick. Me and my friend are going to go and have a bit of alone time, I think.
Yeah. You enjoy that, lad, and I will get my hands on that bastard very soon, and we will see you next time.